Hey, I'm just going to have a couple of sips of tea and then we're going to start with the live stream. Hello. Today I'm keeping my glasses on. Hello. The internet isn't good here, so if we fall out, I'm sorry. Hello, Andrea. I wanted to do a self-inquiry session today. Hi, Nicole. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, thanks. As you know, I've got so many of these cheap glasses I buy from the pharmacist. Hello, Angela. Oh, Jason, I'm sorry you lost your job. How am I? I'm good, but I'm really exhausted. I'm really tired. I think I'm gonna change my position. I like to sit cross-legged. So I wanted to look at self-inquiry today and look at how we self-inquire and why we self-inquire. I'm going to look for your questions. When they come up for a second and then they disappeared. I just left an abusive relationship. It's vital. I'm sorry that you've had that experience. Welcome, Cameron. I'm going to look at the comments and then talk and then look at the comments. Cooper is here. He's just licking himself, so you'll probably hear that. It's so important we take time out of the mayhem, which is a phrase I often use, to self-inquire into who we are away from everybody else. Our sole purpose, our only purpose in life is to help other people. That's it. And we have the eternal challenge between our animal side, which has desire and wants and needs, and this can build, and also our higher side, our conscious side that looks towards the universe, towards God for answers, and we try and find the line in between. I think it's important to acknowledge our animal side and not to pretend that the animal side does not exist. It does exist. They both exist, and we need to work with that. So each day it's important to develop a practice to spend time in silence, reflecting on who you truly are. I missed that comment, something about the pose, and then it disappeared. I'm sitting cross-legged. Maybe the comment, it's difficult for me to sit cross-legged because, shut the computer, because I have a very severely damaged hip. So if you've just joined us, we're going to have a self-reflection. So before we start, I'm going to say, sit down or lie down comfortably and we will begin. Thank you, Alexander. It's important to try to, where possible, to come into this space. And that means to come into a sense of yourself, who you are. Sit down, Cooper. Sit down and listen to the meditation. Come into the space. Spend time in the silence. Spend time looking down upon your life. Now, I may sound fairly wise saying this. I don't have it together, and I think it's vital that you know that. I have followed several mentors in the past, one of them being Muji, who I think is fantastic, another Eckhart Tolle. I've liked some of Jack Canfield's work, though I'm not a proponent of the classic law of attraction. I think it's important that we find ourself within ourself. I think mentors are helpful and we are social, but we need to know who we are in our own right. And every single day, I re-examine who I am. And then I make mistakes. But each day, I have a practice morning and night reflecting on how can I be a better person? How can I serve humanity a little bit better than I am? Someone has just written, they feel they've lost themselves. There are times we feel that we have lost ourselves. There are times we feel that we are overwhelmed. The only place we exist and the only place we can look for ourselves is within ourselves. And that sounds so cliche. It sounds like, oh really? Seriously, Lauren, you're going to say that? I think it's instinctive for us to look towards relationships, to look towards feeling a sense of belonging within the group, to look towards feeling attractive to our cultures, subcultures, our groups, to look towards feeling a sense of being a member, feeling membership within the group. If we rely on that, that's part of it. If we rely on that, if we see that as the end of the game, we will be perpetually lost. If we rely on our sense of self-worth upon others, upon the group, we are looking outside of ourselves. We don't exist out there. What exists out there? Mayhem, other people, their stories. They are living through the validation of who they think they are. And if we're going to live through their validation, we have no chance, no chance. But while I say that, you perpetually look, and I perpetually look. I want validation from other people. I want to be a member of the group. I want to be told I'm okay. But that is not the answer. That is not our stability. That is not our locus of control. That is not our peace. Our peace comes from within. Our peace comes from finding quiet time to self-reflect and to listen in the silence. I'm now going to look at a couple of the comments. Thank you. I am safe video. Thank you. Maddie and Tam, welcome. I love you both so much. Dealing with low self-esteem and suicide thoughts there. So many of us are dealing with issues and a low sense of self. First port of call here, we need a professional person to go to. We need somebody that knows what they're doing beyond a YouTube video to act as a support for us. A psychologist, a psychiatrist, a doctor. That's your first port of call. Then the support therapies underneath that are always self-reflection, meditation, engagements. There's a very good video trending at the moment that I really like in the top 20. I think it's called Loneliness. It's in the top 20, so if you type in lonely, you'll find it. Really worth watching it and reflecting upon it. It talks about how loneliness, or our feeling of being lonely, is an instinctive emotion we feel to keep us safe. It inspires us to go out and find people and to try to be a member of a group. We need to be a member of a group to survive. Research shows, and we know, that if we are alone over time, like Robinson Crusoe, our mental health is compromised. We need to be a sheep within the herd. We need to be a herd animal. That's part of our need to be safe. So it is instinctive that we feel loneliness. I feel loneliness. I need to go out to the group. When I go out to the group, I need to belong. If I need to belong, I will share my food. If I need to belong or feel I need to belong, I will help keep other people warm. I will reach out and provide services. So loneliness has an instinctive function to help to keep our groups together. It's important we feel lonely. But in today's society, and I'm reading or speaking from that video, which is an awesome video. In today's society, we are no longer little tribes wandering the earth. So when we had a small tribe and a person felt lonely, they would contribute more within the tribe. Or they would stick to the rules of safety or providing food or preparing food or going out and seeking food or providing warmth to the other people in the group. So it had a Cooper, no, I do love you. No, you'll have to go outside if you keep doing that. Cooper, no. Do you want to come up and sit here? You can come and sit here. Good boy. I might bring him on the video because he wants to come over here. Yeah, good boy. You lie in the sun. Yeah, you lie in the sun. Yeah. Oh, you want to see Cooper? Okay. He may knock over the camera. Okay, Cooper, come. You don't want to come up. Do you want to come up? Come. Oopsie daisies. Okay. There's Cooper. Have a look. Okay. This live stream is going to go really well, isn't it? Is there a way to contact me directly? I do counselling. He's a whippet. I do counselling, but at the moment I'm trying to grow my YouTube because I've put the boys in a particular school. So it's mercenary. I need to pay for the school. He is cute. He goes everywhere with me. He goes walking with me every day. He goes to the office. He goes into the car as long as it's not too warm. Hey, Maddie. So he goes everywhere with me, and he's completely distracted me now, and he's going to put hair all over me. I know. When I'm working and recording, I try and get him to lie down or go outside because his breathing comes up on the recordings. He's called Cooper because he's my daughter's dog, which I have adopted. And he's actually Maya's, and she called him Cooper. Yeah, I'd really like to have a second dog, but I need to be able to manage the life we have, and we've just bought another cat. Okay. All right, so he likes to get into a little, he's going to go to sleep. Now, you want to go down there? Yeah? He's really into cuddles. I'm getting messages about contacting me directly, and I'll just make a comment about that. I am doing well, but I'm a single mum of 4 kids, and I now do YouTube full-time, and it doesn't quite cover all the costs. It's going well. I've spoken about putting the boys in a special school, a private school, so at the moment I need to work pretty hard on developing YouTube. So that's where my focus is at the moment. Today we're talking about, thank you, Jenna. We're talking about
Yeah.
We're talking about self-inquiry and the importance of finding yourself away from the madding crowds. And that's a theme I talk about quite a lot. It is vital that we find time to be by ourselves. And if you have lost yourself, the only place to look is in yourself. You will not be anywhere else. And that requires silence. And really looking at yourself. He's allergic to my hair, so he's going to sneeze. Sorry. It's vital to look at your self-talk. I get people constantly writing about how they're unhappy about this or unhappy about this, or they're still struggling with this. Watch what you say. If you say it, you validate it. If you validate it, it becomes real. Watch your self-talk, and you can do this by writing down in a journal what you say each day. If you say to yourself, I'm in an abusive relationship, then you are in an abusive relationship and it is perpetual, or you are playing a role in perpetuating that cycle. Now, I'm not saying it's your fault, not at all. It's much more complex than that. But we need to take a level of responsibility for the situation we are in. Disclaimer here, there are millions and millions of people in the world that are poor, that are in a situation where they're impoverished, in a situation where they lack a home, and there is little they can do about it. Our role is to go out and help them. But in our life, there is so much that we can do. And part of that cycle is to look at what we say. If a loved one dies, that is a traumatic, tragic experience. It's awful. Allow yourself a period of time and then watch. Be careful of your self-talk, because your self-talk is the bath that you sit in. The warm bath that you sit in is fertilized by the waters of your self-talk. Be careful. Now, I've said before that I take care about talking about the fact that my marriage ended, and this is an inspiration for me, or the fact I lost someone who died that was very important. I need to be more than that story. I need to say goodbye to that story and move on. However, those two stories are defining for me. Be careful of the story that you write for yourself. Is it the story you want? Write the story you want. If someone has died, if you have left an abusive relationship, create a time where you stop using those words and you start writing the words that become you. I am full of hope. I am open to my present. I have said goodbye to a loved one who has passed on. I wish them well, and now I'm open to opportunity. I have learned through my loss. I have grieved my loss, and now I move on. I chose to remain in an abusive relationship for a period of time. Now I have said goodbye to that relationship. I have created a ritual closing that relationship. I have burnt a letter saying goodbye in a fire. I am grateful for the opportunity of that relationship, and now I move on. I know, I'm holding his nose. He finds it comforting, and if I take it away, he'll start sort of moving around and we won't do anything. We won't get anything done. I'm just alluding to our stories and how we play a role within creating our stories. I don't agree with the classic law of attraction that says that we completely create our story. I think that sometimes we're just unlucky, but we still have so much power to write our stories. So be careful of your self-talk. Every night, write down your self-talk. What have you said during the day? Now, be careful when you say, I'm stressed. I'm stressed because of this situation. I'm stressed because of my life. Look at what stresses you and fix it, change it, adjust it. Accept what you cannot change and change what you can. We have so much power over our own sentiment and our own state of mind, our own state of existence. So have a look at your state of existence. If the relationship wasn't great, change the relationship, or accept the relationship, or leave the relationship. Take time to accept other people. If a person in your life does not metaphorically put away his or her coffee cup, let it go. Accept the fact that they are incapable of putting away their coffee cup. There are so many bigger things in life, and you know I'm not talking about a coffee cup. I'm talking about life here. So much needs to be accepted because people die. People tragically die every day, and we have loss every day. So if somebody doesn't say to you, I love you as much as you would like to hear, they don't put away their coffee cup, they spend money in a way that you're not completely content with, a lot has to be let go. Not everything, you need to be safe, but a lot has to be let go. Find the line. Why? Because life is short and we die at the end of that life. Brutal, but correct. So why spend 3 years after the end of a relationship grieving it? Come on, let's get real. The sun is out. There is music. There is great food. There is family rituals. There's making the salad with the rest of the family before dinner. If someone has let you down, if someone has judged you, if someone has died, honor them with grief. Honor the moment with grief, and then choose a moment when it's time to move on and choose to change your self-talk. A relationship ended. I'm practicing self-talk here. My relationship ended. I felt grief, and now I choose to notice the sunshine. I choose to notice that I have a dog here that adores me. I choose to notice that I can buy food. I choose to notice that I can turn on the tap and voila, from that tap comes water. I'm so lucky. Choose to notice the simple and choose to watch and watch and watch and watch your self-talk. Be careful not to find comfort in negative self-talk. Be very careful not to find comfort in negative self-talk. Oh, I'm so stressed. Oh, my girlfriends still are not returning my calls. Oh, the person at work just doesn't see my worth. Okay, the person at work doesn't see your worth. Okay, your girlfriends or boyfriends are not returning your calls. Okay, all right. That's unfortunate. What are you going to do about it? The sun, go for a walk. If you say once, my boss is not seeing me. Once, okay. I'm sorry your boss doesn't see you. Boss doesn't see you. You cannot change the behavior or the cognitive thinking of your boss. So what can you do? What do you have power over? Because we only have 1 second. It's gone. Oh, that second's gone. How are you going to use it? Another second. It's gone. It's gone. Gone. Like gone. 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 How are you going to use these seconds? You have power over this. You have power over how we use our head. We have power over what we feel. Not easy. If someone shouts at us, we want to feel grief, we want to feel anger. It's not easy to say, what happened to that person? Why do they feel like that? What can I do to help them? One life, one moment. One life, one moment. How do you make yourself stop loving someone who doesn't love you? Oh my goodness me, I know so much about that. I am a romantic. I love to love. I loved my husband. I loved a man since my husband. I've loved a man before my husband. And sometimes people just don't love you in return. It's nothing about you necessarily. We cannot change another person's thoughts and feelings. They have a story that we do not know. We never know another person's complete story. Our body is going to continue to produce oxytocin when we love. So love comes from oxytocin or the production of the cuddle hormone. We have the cuddle hormone, oxytocin, in order to keep society together, to keep our society bonded, to keep the group together. So oxytocin serves a purpose. We were made to be committed to a partner and to a group of members within our subculture. We are made instinctively to do that. So we produce oxytocin, which makes us go to the group, inspires us to go to the group, give people cuddles and hugs, and love and be intimate with somebody. It has a productive purpose. But when somebody leaves us, we still produce oxytocin. I still love you. Know you're producing oxytocin. Know that there is a period of grief. Watch your self-talk. Write in the journal about how you feel. Look towards engaging with other people. Write a plan on how to move on. Know that holding on to an attachment to a person who has left you or the relationship has broken down does not serve you. Know that you only have the moment. That's all you have. Know that attachment is hormone-based or inspired. So you can rewrite those hormones. You can send those hormones to other places, group, helping local charities, and give yourself time. Watch your self-talk, watch your self-talk, watch your self-talk. Journal, journal, journal. Aim to be positive and sometimes go easy on yourself. Sometimes say, I just feel grieved tonight. I'm just going to make myself a beautiful dinner and get into bed with Netflix and allow myself this grieving time. Hello. So notice the difference between constructive grief and destructive grief. Grief is there to honor the moment, the experience, but only for a period of time. And then grief must become celebration. When someone passes on, we have the funeral to celebrate their death and to help with grieving. Funerals are a celebration of life. Honor the life by being grateful for the life and then being the best you can be. If years later, months later, you are destructively sitting in a pit of grief over someone you've lost, you're not honoring their life. You were lucky to have the moments you had with that soul. And now allow the beauty of that memory to inspire you to help other people. I am covered with dog hair, literally covered with dog hair. We have one purpose, and that is to bring happiness and peace to others and to preserve our world, period. Include everyone, love everyone. Oh, Flor. Yeah. Thank you, Flor. Cooper is definitely sleeping and he's breathing very loudly. Yeah, toxic relationships. Today we're looking a little bit at self-reflection and self-inquiry and what we can do. What can I do? Say to yourself, what can I do? Does this grief make me a better person for other people? Does this stress make me a better person for other people? Remember, there's two types of stress. There's distress, negative, and there's eustress, which is EU, stress, which is positive. Does my loneliness serve me? Do I use my loneliness? Does my loneliness inspire me to go to the group, belong to the group, care about the group, love the group? Watch yourself talk. Watch yourself talk. There's so much here about failed relationships. Gee, I'm such an expert on that because I'm not in a relationship. I have lots of friends, but I'm not in a relationship. And as all of us, as most of us, it would be nice if I had a significant other. You must be able to hear him breathe. He's falling down. You're falling down. Could we come up a little bit more? Yes, yes. Floor's saying, I love myself just the way I am, and I'm okay. I really like the words I'm okay because they're not. Some of the New Age positivists say affirmations, say affirmations. I have two minds about that because if you say affirmations and you don't feel in that, it's my hairs, and you don't feel in that space, like you're saying to yourself, I love myself, and you're moving through grief or loss, it can have the opposite effect. The words I am okay are calming, are realistic, are there's no high and no low in the words I'm okay. It's like, it can be like, oh, the sun is out, life is good, I'm okay. Or it can be, I'm feeling a bit lonely today, I've got no plans for tonight, but I'm okay. Or it can be, all right, everything is getting on top of me, my partner's left me, I'm still in love with my partner, I've got a lot of work, I'm a bit worried about bills, but I'll be okay, I'm okay. So it's a really realistic word rather than, you know, with New Age positivism, they say, I'm great, I'm fantastic. How are you today? I'm on top of the world. Well, really? You're on top of the world and people are dying, people are without homes, you're on top of the world, you're great, and I know you feel lonely at night. It's important to be positive but realistic. By being realistic, we open our eyes up to others. If we are unrealistically positive, I'm fantastic, we affect our ability to see the journey of others. If we take a moment to feel empathy, and what is empathy? It's sitting in other people's, you know what I'm going to say, proverbial situation. And if we're going to sit in this situation, we're going to feel some of their pain. And we can be okay about that. And that's one of the things I'm not so keen about the law of attraction. The law of attraction states that we do not look at pain. We do not look at the news when the news is bad. We're always positive, and then positive will come to us. How can you be positive when our environment is dying? How can you be completely, unequivocally positive when species of animals are becoming extinct? How can we be positive when people are dying of malnourishment? How can you be positive when people are sleeping at the train station? That's our issue. We need to fix that. If we feel their pain, we're more likely to fix it. So I do not like that part of the law of attraction that says, la, 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 I'm great, I'm fantastic. I like, I'm okay, the sun is out, I feel good. I must remember my neighbour is struggling at the moment. I'm okay, I'm enjoying Cooper right now. I must remember that my daughter is struggling with her VCE. So I'm okay is realistic, is open, is considering, is reflecting. And coming back to our theme today of self-reflection, self-inquiry, sitting in the silence and self-inquiring. If your mind chatter is busy with the negativity, if your mind chatter is busy with, oh, I'm so sad about this and I'm so sad about that, in the same way, you'll be so sad about this and so sad about that. You need to be realistically positive, realistically optimistic. My skin is killing you. What's wrong with my skin? I'm looking at the comments here, so it's quite challenging for me to think about what I'm going to say. Yes, I'd like to get a rescue Great Dane, but I don't. Cooper's old now. He's a little bit blind and deaf, and so I don't think I want to do it to him. But and I'm having trouble keeping weight on him at the moment. So we went to the park yesterday. The other whippet's there, and I could see how he's a little bit too. Oh, nice skin, Jessica. It's not that great. Thank you. It's not that great. I've got the beautiful sun in my face, but thank you very much. You know that I'm not young, and so health is pretty important to me. I think that we are being ambushed by Cooper today. Next time I'll bring our new cat for you to meet. Yes, he is very relaxed. Thank you. Again, the theme today is to be mindful of your self-talk. I know, seriously, his arms. It is a Cooper ambush today. I'd like to pull him more up. He cries easily, so I'd like to pull him up a little bit more, but he could cry. He's a bit of a whinger, aren't you? Okay. He's putting my hair. So I just, if someone calls, I have to get rid of the message. Yes, I love Cooper too. He's fantastic. Yeah. I'm going to finish up soon. I've noticed that when people call, it knocks us off our call. I'm so grateful to you. If you want to help me, you can subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. You can buy a cup if you want to. You can buy my book. That helps us, that helps the kids and I. Or just your views and your comments also help us. When you leave this stream today, remember to be careful of your self-talk, to sit in okayness, to sit in the moment, to allow yourself grief for a period of time and then find opportunity in the grief. Not easy, I know. To be positive yet mindful of the needs of others. To review yourself each and every day in the silence. Take time in the silence to look at how you can be a better person, how you can contribute to the needs of others. Remember, it's about inclusion. Include everybody from every race. Remember, you don't know the story of others. So when we see homeless people, they have walked a long journey that we are not aware of. So for us to say, get a job or be careful of your money, we've learned that. We've learned that from our parents. They have not. So do not judge a story that you have not sat in. When you have walked the mile in those shoes, then embrace the story. Otherwise, we cannot know the story of another person. Inclusion, empathy, awareness. Inclusion, empathy, awareness. Cooper is getting on to 8 or 9, I think. I've got to try and get some more weight on him. He's got some arthritis now. He's got cataracts, haven't you? Hey, star of the live stream. Cooper-doo. Hey. Yeah. We're going to finish in a couple of minutes. I'll just look if there's any other questions. He is very sweet. I've got a lovely motherly energy. I need to really make a point here that I'm not always patient. And sometimes, especially in the mornings getting ready for school, I shout at my children because it's really tough being a single mum of 4. See, listen to that self-talk. I'll do it again. Instead of saying it's really tough being a single mum of 4, I love it. It is such a gift in my life. Sometimes I want to roll into a fetal position crying in the corner, and then I unravel myself and I remind myself to be involved in their stories is so wonderful, and I'm so lucky. It's tough, but it's delicious to be a single mum of 4. Recuperate. That's hilarious, Johnny. Okay, what can I do if I can't leave someone who's abusive? The question is, what can I do if I can't leave someone that's abusive? Well, generally we can leave them. Now, perhaps you cannot leave them because of financial situations or housing situations. Then you can escape into your own mind. I would always say, see if you can get support. If you're in a situation where you can't leave the housing, or you're in a domestically violent situations, look at whatever lifelines there are available to you. Look at whatever doctor services, look to whatever family services. Make sure your children are safe. Make sure you have an escape plan. That is if you physically cannot leave that relationship. Look towards professional services. They do exist. Sometimes it's just not possible. Then look at how can you ensure the safety as much as you can. How can you escape into your own mind? How can you meditate? And beyond that, I am so sorry that you have that experience. Yeah, Jenna, I do have so much on my plate, and I am not always positive. Oh, wow. How are the diamonds made? Under pressure. Well, I must have a lot of diamonds hidden behind me somewhere. But I live in a house. I can occasionally buy lunch out. I have good friends. Hillary Clinton. And I have support services. So I'm incredibly lucky. There are people that are not lucky. We need to go out and find those people and help the Sharons of the world, if you remember Sharon. We need to include everybody without judgment. Watch your judgment. Be careful. You love my hair. It is so porous and dry, Brooke. Thank you so much. I love my hair also. A lot of it fell out a few years ago, a lot of it, like 70% of it. So now I'm so grateful for my hair. When it was falling out, I went to my mother and I said, Mum, my hair's falling out. And my mum's really a survivor. She's had cancer and she's gone through terrible trauma. So my hair was falling out. So I do this and I have handfuls of hair. And Mum would say, get over it. shave your head, you don't need hair, people are dying. And I went to Mum when a relationship was ending. And I said, Mum, my relationship's ending. And she said, get over it. People are dying. You're so lucky. Get over it. And I'd go to my mum and I'd say, my marriage is ending. Get over it. We all love you. You've got 4 children. Get over it. She's so, she lost her brother fairly tragically. She's lost other people. She's had cancer. She found breast cancer in one breast. So then they found a tiny bit in the other breast, and they said to her, oh, we can just remove those little lumps. And she said, no, I'm going to get over it. Take both breasts now. I've got 6 kids. Take them now. And the doctor said, well, it's only a little bit of cancer in both breasts. And she said, well, I'm alive. I'm grateful. Take both breasts. So that's what she did. And she's still with us now, but she's so brutally resilient, way more resilient than me. And I learned so much from her. And now she's perpetually tired because she's looking after Dad all the time, who can no longer move around easily. I know, oh my God, Brooke Cooper. So I will finish the live script. Dream. Yes, thank you, Lee. My family is lovely and I'm really lucky to have the family I do. I'm just going to sit here and meditate and breathe. Yes, he's blissed out. He's quite emotional though. Notice before when I tried to get him up on the chair, he wasn't sure what he was meant to do, so he cried a little bit. Whippets cry pretty easily. Yeah, Tamla, Mum is so tough. Now, out of respect for my mother, I don't repeat any of the stories that I am not allowed to repeat or haven't got permission from Mum to repeat, and that are in my book. She's had a really, really tough time, and she's an absolute military force of energy. Yeah, he is. She's just amazing, and I'm not as strong as her. I'm not. Am I Hillary Clinton? What is this Hillary Clinton? Yeah, she's so strong and she's lost so many people. Hi, Sheena, how are you? Today the theme has been self-talk and self-reflection. Always find time to be in the silence. I'm going to, yeah, you've asked me, so many of you have asked me, when am I going to do the live stream? And I really want to do it regularly, but I just can't schedule things. I just can't. It's not possible. I get so tired looking after my sister and the 4 kids. You know, I look after my sister as well. She's a very, 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 very difficult situation. I'm going to finish up soon. If you would like to help us, number 1, your view. 2, please subscribe to the channel. That is a huge help. Only 30% of you subscribe. If the other 70% subscribed, it would be an enormous help. Please consider buying the PDF of my book or the hard copy, Daily Rituals for Happiness, my cup, which I've ordered for myself, and or just your view and your comment is incredibly helpful to us. Mandy, I haven't been in many live chats myself. I've done about, how many have I done now? About 3. I'm still getting my head around it. Thank you for subscribing. That's a really big deal. Don't worry if you can't buy my book. Goodness me, I'm just suggesting it. The subscription, if the 70% that didn't subscribe subscribed, it would change everything so dramatically. 4th floor, I'm not sure what you mean by the question 4th. I'm not quite sure of that. Breathing in and out through your nose as you watch the stream. Yes, he is spoilt. Ah, okay, he is spoilt. Also, join me on Instagram because I try to keep in touch with everyone via Instagram, which is my name. He's incredibly spoilt, and now I'm incredibly covered in dog hair, so much dog hair. Breathe in and out through the nose. If you can't breathe through the nose, breathe through your mouth. Brooke, the subscription is massive. That's a massive help. I'm at 92,000 subscribers. Each subscriber significantly helps us, and it's free to subscribe. I know. You should see the other ways he sleeps. I know, these arms. Do you know that you're on a live feed to lots of people? Do you know that? Goopy, goop, goop, goopy, goopy, goop, 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 goop. That is a photo. He does listen to my meditations. And he enjoys them, but he breathes too loudly as I'm meditating. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to, hello, Paula. Yes, he's doing dog yoga. That's scratching me. Yes. Okay. Good night, everybody. I'm going to go. I'll speak to you again. Thank you for following me on Instagram. Remember, subscribe to YouTube. Breathe. Thank you. Be in the moment. Take care of yourself. Include everybody, and change what you can change, accept what you can't, and focus. Use your mind control to control your feelings. Whenever I finish, I'm not very good at finishing live streams, and I can't actually reach it. So I'm going to say goodbye. I can't reach it. I'm going to say goodbye, everyone.